Okay, we're back in Sanur again. I know that some of you may have been watching my previous video and thinking, hey, that guy's got the same shirt on. Well, I do, because this is the same day. I'm doing 2 videos in one day, but publishing them a little bit, a bit apart, because I don't want to put 2 videos up in one day. It doesn't really work for me to do that. But I just wanted to go on a bit of a walk today because I'm going to get a haircut. And I want to show you along the way some of the back streets, along the way to where I will get a haircut. Now that place there, first up, so I'm on the bypass here in Sanur. And it's not a very good tourist destination, the bypass, but there is a few things of note. Like that place there, it's called Warung Kecil Infinity. Now it's the sister of Warung Kecil, which exists as a little warung next to the Hyatt Hotel on Jalan Pantai Duyung. That place is really good. Like, it's a bigger version of the original Warung Infinity. They do really good food, good prices. It's a big location, nice and breezy. That's worth having a look at if you like your Indonesian food. It's one of those places where you just go and pick the dishes in the window, like one of those, and you make your own sort of nasi campur. Just on the side of this building here, down this little gang, there's a little sign, Las Panggilan. I really like seeing those signs. When you can understand the language, they make a lot of sense. So, oh, that's interesting as well. Made to order. They're doing all that, all those blinds. That's cool. That's nice. Anyway, getting back to the Las Panggilan. Basically, that's a dude that will come to your home and do welding. He's a welder. And he's sort of like a dude that can roam around and do welding anywhere you want. So he'll come to you. Like, if you're, like in Indonesia, a lot of your fences and gates are custom made. They're not like off the shelf type jobs. So because they're custom made, when you need them to be repaired, you need to get a welder in. So you just call someone like that, he'll come over to your house and weld up the hinges if the gate has fallen off the hinges, for example, which has happened to me in Bali already. But it happened multiple times when I was in Java. Over time, the weather just gets to the materials and just rusts it straight through. And the gates are usually really heavy and they just fall off their hinges. You have to call those dudes from time to time when you live here. So Las Panggilan, yeah, you see that sign. Just get his number because you'll probably need him at some point. This place is a Thai restaurant, the Bed. I don't know if it's any good, but because I've never been there, but I have heard from people that I know that, hey, that's a good Thai restaurant. There's actually quite a few Thai restaurants in Sanur, and the couple that I've tried have been very good. Okay, see that there? That's Jalan Pungutan, yeah? That is the very start of Jalan Pungutan, and that's the road that goes all the way to the market. This is miles away from the market, so it goes a long way up up the back here. So it just cuts straight up the back there. It's a decent street to have a bit of a wander along. There's not heaps along there, but it is residential and there's a couple of warungs and it's quiet. Now, if I was going straight to the hairdresser, I would cut up that road because it's much more pleasant than walking along this footpath here. Oh, there goes someone going the wrong way. Yeah, it's a lot more pleasant than going along here, even though we've got a footpath. But I'm actually taking you to another place that I've seen before that I haven't tried before, and we're going to check that one out. This is the Sanur Medical Clinic. The reason I've heard about that is because I've heard that there's a good physio there. I haven't tried them out, but if you need a physio, that's one that you probably should look into because I've had recommendations that they're pretty good. There are other medical services, no idea, absolutely no idea. And I'm not sort of in the business of kind of recommending doctors to people. Like, I don't want to do that. I know there's a lot of people that have asked me, look, I want information about healthcare in Bali. And first of all, it's difficult for me to do because I haven't really dealt with the healthcare system a lot. I've only had bits and pieces to do with the healthcare system. And secondly, I want to be careful not to start recommending things or people to the viewers, because I mean, I imagine if something went wrong and I've recommended a doctor to you, that'd be terrible, terrible. All I can say is who I've visited and how it was for me, and I'll probably leave it at that rather than say, no, you're going to go to this person. Actually, over the years, I've gotten to know a dentist here, which I've been a little bit reluctant to sort of speak about too much because I don't want to be seen to be recommending a friend as a dentist, because it's a dentist that I go to. I will be interviewing her, speaking to her in time, I think. That's the plan anyway. But I wouldn't say, like, go and recommend her, because that's, I just don't want to get into that game at all. But I wouldn't mind speaking to her and talking about dental care in Indonesia more generally, about what sort of things are available, what the standards are like, what the education levels are like, what the facilities are like, what prices are like, and I think that's a pretty good thing to be able to do. So I will be doing that in time regarding dental stuff, because I do have a contact for sure when it comes to dental. Footpath gets a bit ordinary here. That looks dangerous as that does. Wow. Look at that. Oh, that is. Oh, look at that. It's a jungle block. Oh, I love that. I love that. I'd love to have a block like that and just minimally clear it, just so there's no snakes, and just build a house under all those trees. That'd be cool. Well, there's banana plants in there and all sorts of stuff. You have to get rid of all this rubbish first. People are using it as a bit of a rubbish dump, which is a little bit sad. All right, keep going down. There's all these little alleyways that you don't really sort of notice when you're flying past in a car or a motorbike. You just don't even notice most of those little alleyways, but there's houses down there. Oh, this is cool. This is really cool. This is what we call in Indonesian Proyek Mangkrak. Proyek Mangkrak. One of my viewers, Scott from Scotland, he reckons I sound like a Japanese general when I say things like Proyek Mangkrak. But Proyek Mangkrak is a stalled project. That is a classic Bali stalled project where the money's run out, and you've got this big block of land with half-built buildings on there from 20 years ago. Looks like it was going to be some sort of small hotel. Oh, there's heaps of stuff. Oh, what's that? Oh, another little garden in there. Where that goes. That's cool. There's a few vacant blocks around. Old mattress. Look at that old spring mattress. I actually didn't realise there were so many vacant blocks here on the beach side of the bypass. Look at that one. Well, that's cool. Little banana plantation in there, bit of gardening. Maybe a homeless person living in there, or someone who's not really homeless but thought they could build a little shack in there. I don't know. Footpath has sort of disappeared now. That's the bypass for you, isn't it? Like, the bypass is not the most pleasant place to walk. Although, having said that, it's probably more pleasant walking along here than it is up the main road. Wow, that was loud. Probably more pleasant walking up here than the main road at the moment, with the main road all dug up. Just past another vehicle which is parked on the footpath, and I can see another vehicle up here parked on the footpath as well. And it happens in Indonesia quite a bit. There's sort of an acceptance that cars can do that, be a little bit arrogant and take up the space of a pedestrian. But there is actually activists in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta, who are pro-pedestrian, and they actually will go along the footpaths and block motorbikes that are riding along them. For example, in Jakarta at peak hour, the footpaths are often filled with motorbikes because it's easier. Hang on, is that where I'm going? Yeah, Gang Kodok. Kodok means frog. Oh, there's that last panggilan again. Pakomang. Yeah, so what will happen is that in peak hour, motorbikes go up on the footpath because it's easier and they can beat the traffic. And they've started to do it in Bali as well. But what they've been doing in Jakarta is that people have been going out with cameras and just blocking the footpath with their bodies and filming people going up onto the footpath, you know. And you get fights happening, and I mean, that, for an Indonesian who's watching this, if you want to get a good YouTube channel, that would be a very popular one, where you go and just block motorbikes on footpaths and cause a bit of a disturbance, you know. That'll be very popular to see, you know, justice being served for the pedestrians. Gang Kodok is one of those shortcut roads from the main road, or the east side of the bypass in Sanur, to the bypass itself. So if you want to get to the west side and you're in this sort of area, you can come down Gang Kodok, and people will come down here on motorbikes and so forth if they're trying to get to the bypass from the main road, rather than going all the way up to the traffic lights at McDonald's. Little bit of an update on the weather situation. Has been raining occasionally overnight. I haven't been rained out in the day since I've been back from Kazakhstan. The weather is hotter for sure, especially in the mornings. So, June, July, August, the mornings are a little bit, I was going to say crisp, but that's going to sound stupid if you're coming from Australia where it has been cold. But by Bali standards, they've been cool and crisp. And now they're not. They're just normal. So 27 degrees when I woke up this morning. The house felt a little bit warmer, whereas sometimes when I wake up, the house feels a more pleasant temperature. Not cold, but just a bit more pleasant. So, yeah, it is starting to heat up for sure. The seasons are changing for sure. And I'm sweating buckets. That's why I keep wiping the sweat off my nose as it runs down my face so I don't look like an idiot. Well, I still probably do anyway, don't I? Hey!
Halo.
Pagi.
Pagi, Bos.
Dari mana?
Dari Sumba.
Sumba? Oh, di Sumba mana? Ya, aku tahu Sumba, tapi dari dekat kota mana?
Tambolaka, SBD.
Oh, Tambolaka. Ya, ada bandara di sana juga ya?
Bandara Tambolaka.
Kalau Bapak pindah ke sini, naik kapal atau pesawat?
Pesawat.
Oh ya?
Ngurah Rai, Tambolaka Ngurah Rai.
Oh, ada langsung?
Ada langsung.
Oh.
Minimal 1 jam.
Dan tarifnya berapa?
1,5 atau 1,2.
Oh, lumayan mahal juga.
Lumayan.
Tapi kalau naik kapal berapa biasanya tarifnya?
450.
Berapa?
450.
450.000.
Bedanya 900. Tapi kalau nggak
Malas.
ada, ikut kapal laut. Kalau buru-buru,
ya
ikut.
Oh, kalau ada job mungkin ya.
Nah, kalau ada job, boleh jalan pakai pesawat. Kalau santai-santai, laut aja lah.
Ya. Aku suka naik pelni. Itu enak banget.
Enak.
Menurut aku ya.
Iya, sama juga saya, lebih bagus. Nikmati hawanya,
Ya,
jalan laut.
betul sekali. Duduk di belakang, minum kopi, ngobrol sama teman.
Ngerokok.
Betul sekali, Pak. Bapak siapa nama?
Ali.
Ali.
Iya.
Aku Adam.
Adam, dari mana? Arab?
Bukan, aku orang Australia.
Australia, mirip orang Arab.
Bukan.
Bukan.
Bapak agama apa?
Saya?
Ya.
Muslim.
Muslim.
Ya.
Di Sumba kebanyakan Muslim atau Kristen?
Campuran. Kristen ada, Muslim ada, Katolik ada.
Oh, semuanya.
Buddha juga ada, semuanya ada.
Dan pernah ada kerusuhan gara-gara agama di sana atau tidak?
Tidak ada. Semua rukun.
Damai.
Cuma kerusuhan gara-gara perbatasan tanah. Dunia sama.
Betul sekali,
sama.
betul.
Di mana-mana sama.
Terima kasih Pak untuk ngobrol hari ini ya.
Sama-sama.
Okay, Pak. I love speaking to local people. So warm and friendly. And what I find speaking to locals is that sometimes you can be direct, and sometimes you need to hedge around issues. It's interesting because sometimes, that's a white dove. Sometimes you'll be asked something pretty direct like, what's your salary? Or do you have children? Or why don't you have children? Do you have some sort of medical problem? You can get asked very direct questions like that, and we can ask them in return. But sometimes it's not appropriate to ask things directly either. So we like to hedge around the issues. And knowing the context around that is sometimes really difficult to figure out. I still don't always get it right, to be honest. So yeah, being polite by hedging around issues is one thing, but being direct is totally normal as well. There seems to be a lot of new buildings going up at the moment, like this one here is a new style building. I actually really love the look of that thing, Terramore Villa. It just looks really nice. I like the side here as well. So what happens sometimes is that getting your building oriented properly when you've got such a small space plus a roadway like that, sometimes very difficult. People will often put a wall there rather than the building wall. They'll put the property boundary fence and then the building inside, but they've done that really nicely there. I think that's one of the big challenges if you're building here in Indonesia on a small block is how are you going to design that thing? Anyway, I just wanted to talk about people from Sumba. There's been a lot of tension between Balinese people and people from the east. We'll call them just the east, Sumba, Maluku and so forth in recent years. The tensions have risen because there are a lot of people from the east who come here to work. They're willing to work for a lower pay, basically. But obviously culturally they are different to Balinese. And some of those cultural differences have spilled over into, well, there has been some petty crime. Well, there's probably been some more serious crimes as well. But I will avoid slandering a whole group of people, for sure. I'm not saying that at all, but there has been some issues that's really fired up a lot of Balinese, and you'll find that if there's another incident, a lot of Balinese people will say, that is definitely not a Balinese person who did that, that's definitely a person from the East. And quite often they're right, but you know, when that starts happening, it starts to get very, just a bit of friction there. And I hope that can be resolved, because I like the people from Sumba and I like the people from Bali, I just don't want them to fight. Yeah, cultural differences are often the case when you have people migrating in big numbers, isn't it really? So this is a place I wanted to go to today. It's called Veganlicious Smoothie Bowls. I'm not a vegan, but I want to try their smoothie bowls. It's been open for over a year now. I don't think it's that popular actually, but I'm going to try it out because I'm curious to know what it's like. So there you go. Banana charcoal, I don't think I'll do that. Dragon Fiesta looks good. A bit of dragon fruit, protein power. We'll have a look. Peanut butter looks good as well. I don't know if mango's in season at the moment. I could try that, so I'm going to give it a go. Bikin vlog sama teman saya.
Ya, hello.
Hello, asli dari mana?
Saya asli dari Bali.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Di mana di Bali?
Denpasar.
Denpasar.
Yeah.
Representing Denpasar. Okay, we have a menu. Okay, what have we got? Well, I've already seen the menu at the front. Yang recommended apa?
We got a recommended from here, like we got a tropical mango, double the sweet one.
Yeah.
Here.
Mango is in season?
Yeah.
Manis.
Manis.
Okay, I will do mango, please.
Mango?
Yes.
All right. For the size, one large or medium?
Medium, the smallest one.
The smallest one.
Yang
Right.
paling kecil.
Paling kecil.
I think this is going to be good because what's your name?
You can call me Radit. Radit.
Radit.
Yeah.
Radit's going to make the best smoothie bowl.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, for sure. All right, let's give it a go. I have a real thing against bottled water. I just don't buy it. Like, even if I'm dehydrated and thirsty, I don't buy bottled water, but I've just bought one because, oh man, I'm hot. It's hot. I've been just charging up that road, sweating like anything. It's just the heat's just up a little notch at the moment. I've got my ice in there as well. I always get questions about ice and about whether the ice here is safe, and like, I've never worried about ice. I think there's a bit of an old wives' tale that somehow the locals are making ice from, from river water or something like that, but that doesn't happen because locals get sick from dirty water as well. The locals are either drinking boiled water or buying those big aqua gallon, those 19-litre dispenser type things, because they get sick from it as well. In fact, what you can do, you can also you can buy little filters for your taps that can filter the water really well for you, or you can get like charcoal filters that work well as well if you don't want to buy bottled water. But when it comes to ice, no problem with the ice at all. Don't worry about the ice. That actually is the least of your worries. There are a lot of other things that you don't know about, that we can't know about, that are more worrisome. For example, you might have a chicken that was slaughtered in the morning and you're going to eat it at night, right? In between when it was slaughtered and it gets onto your plate, you don't know how many times it's been handled, and I guess what conditions it was stored under. Was it frozen? Was it refrigerated? Or was it just sat out? Were there flies on it? You don't know, and you can't know that no matter where you eat. Here in Indonesia, you don't know. It's the same in Australia as well, but here we do know there are problems with food handling at times, and you just don't know if things have been done properly at all. You can't know, and you can't blame a particular restaurant. If you get sick at a restaurant from spoiled food, you can't blame a restaurant because they may not know either that the food has been handled incorrectly before getting to them. So yeah, don't worry about the ice. Don't worry about the ice at all. Okay, there we have it. There's our smoothie bowl with a bit of mango in the top there, bit of kiwi fruit, some granola, toasted muesli, some coconut flakes, and the base is blended mango. Looks good. Yeah. Oh, right. That's good. That is really good. That's just like a blended mango with topping on top, like the fruit topping. So like a bit of a fruit salad for brekkie. Really nice, really nice. And sort of see this place, it's like a It's almost like warung style. It's not fancy. It's not a cafe. And I really like that. Because it's sort of like you're coming here for a bowl and a coffee. They do coffee as well. Come here for a bowl and coffee. If you're waking up in the morning and going, what are we going to have for breakfast? Well, how about we have a smoothie bowl? Well, come over to Veganlicious because this place is doing good bowls and coffee. Simple, like real simple style. It's what you see is what you get, not pretentious. It's cheap. Like that bowl I've got there has only cost me 74,000, but that's probably the most expensive one. The cheapest one's like 49,000, so yeah, it's pretty good value too. Well, that was pretty good. Enjoyed that. They actually put a 10% tax on, so it ended up costing 18,000, which I'm not sure is that cheap, but I mean, I don't mind because I think that's a good smoothie bowl, like a really good smoothie bowl. So if you're looking for a smoothie bowl when you wake up in the morning and a coffee, just go there. That's pretty good. There are other places that do smoothie bowls around town. I don't know what the price of them is, but they're usually a little bit more expensive because it's pure fruit. And with that granola, which is pretty expensive too, sort of adds up. So, I mean, it's not the price of a soto ayam or a nasi goreng, that's for sure, or a nasi jingo. It's midday at the moment. That was a late brekkie for me. And I've been doing that a bit lately because I've found that in Bali, after living here a couple of years, I'm starting to get fatter because I eat all the good food. Just slowly putting a bit of weight on, and that's why it's a late brekkie. But it also means I'm down at the market here a bit late, so it's midday, and the market's got a few fruit and veggies still going, but more or less all done and dusted for the day here at the Sindu market, which is the main market in the beach side of Sanur. It's the Sanur market basically. The big market that most people would go to, that's probably slightly cheaper for people, is probably Pasar Intaran, which is across the bypass. But if you're sort of staying around here, that's really good value to go and get, fruit and veggies and stuff from there. You have to negotiate prices. So if you don't really know how much stuff costs in the first place, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to know. There's also a few fruit shops up there as well. So if you don't want to go into the market itself, you can go and, like, for example, there's a little warung there with fruit and veg, and they'll do a juice. That's all near the market. It's actually a pretty good place to get local, simple stuff, like food and drinks. So it's really, really good. But you do need to know what prices are like, because a lot of it's not listed as fixed price. All right, we're up here on the main road again, and that footpath situation is still not fixed yet. It's not bad here. Well, it's not great, but at least I can walk on the footpath now because the tiles have been put down. I guess, really that could easily be completely done in a week, but I don't think it will be given how long it's been taking so far. I'm actually going to go up here and turn right down Jalan Pantai Sindu, which is where I'm going to get my haircut. That's the place that I go. I just saw that electric shuttle come past, and it had a lot of people on it. Apparently, from what I've heard, is that almost no one uses the card to get on there. They're just paying cash to the driver, and the price is variable between 1,000 and 5,000. So that's still an option if you just want to pay cash to the driver. Sounds like he's accepting cash. Whether he's supposed to or not, well, that's a separate matter. Okay, so this is the road down to the beach, Pantai Sindu. It's called Jalan Pantai Sindu. The beach roads around Sanur are really easy, like Jalan Pantai Duyung, which is, well, I think they call it Jalan Duyung, but it goes to Pantai Duyung. This one, Jalan Pantai Sindu. And the place that I have my haircut is just across from that little parking post there. Yeah, this dude here, he does haircuts for 50,000. They're simple ones. They're not like big styled haircuts or whatever. They're just simple haircuts. And he's pretty good. I'll just go inside and show you what it's like. So that's the place. It's called GC Barber. Actually, I think my second video I ever did was on this place. And the price is still the same 2 years later. Absolute legend, this guy. Highly recommended. Now, I'm going to leave the video there. Thanks for coming along for this walk once again today through Sanur. Enjoyed your company. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Sanur, the rest of Bali and Indonesia. I'll catch you next time, and Sampai Jumpa.